Hey guys, this is Matias Canteri. I'm a professional musician here in Nashville, Tennessee, where playing hot chicken picking licks is the only way to survive. And today we're going to talk about how to get fast on guitar. Even though we all know the answer to that, practice, there are certain things that no one seems to be talking about. And bad practice can lead nowhere sometimes, even after years. That's what we're going to fix today. I'm going to share some of the things that worked for me and many students I worked with. And on this video, what I'm going to say is actually more important than the exercises I'm going to show. But make sure you guys watch until the end, because at the end, I'm going to show you my favorite exercise on different techniques. Okay, so let's get to it. 3 words are very important: explore, focus, and repeat. So let's dive into that. There are many different techniques that allow us to play guitar fast. There's sweep picking, alternate picking, legato, hybrid picking, you name it. There are several different ways. It's important that you spend some time exploring those techniques so you can find what feels more comfortable and more natural to you. And then you're going to prioritize that technique when practicing. For example, I really liked sweep picking, like as far as watching other people do it. When I started playing guitar, that was really impressive to me, and I really want to be good at that. But when I started practicing, I was like, this doesn't really feel great to me. So I kept, exploring, and eventually, I started doing hybrid picking. I was like, this is great. I can do this fast, and it feels natural. Of course, I didn't play fast immediately, but right away I could tell that was like way easier for me to do, for my body to execute. So if I had spent more time trying to get good at sweep picking, maybe I wouldn't have discovered that other technique that's actually way easier for me. So that's why it's so important to explore different techniques so you can find what works for you, and we're all different. The first thing I want to tell you is you don't need 1,500 exercises for each technique to develop speed. It's quite the opposite, actually. To me, the best exercises are the ones that are simple, short, and contain the essence of that particular technique. That makes it way easier for you to focus on what really matters, developing the muscle memory, getting your hands in sync. And once you develop that on that short exercise, it's way easier to expand and apply that technique on a longer phrase. But it's just hard to practice too many things at once, So sometimes you're trying to work on this exercise that's too long. It's over a new scale that you never played before. And then all of a sudden you're struggling because you're trying to do too many things at once. Instead of just grabbing, 3 notes per string on a pattern that's very simple, and you can just focus on executing it as fast as you can and developing your speed. Once you get that out of the way, then you have that speed, and then you can apply that to longer, more complex phrases. But if you focus on speed only at first, it's going to be way quicker for you to develop that speed. Now here's the part we're more familiar with. Repetition is key to develop speed on the guitar, but it's way more efficient after you explored and focused. And I want you to pay close attention to the details. Like, is it too fast? Are you practicing too fast? You can't execute it right? Is it too slow where you're not pushing yourself maybe? Is your hand positioning correct? Are you feeling like your hand is relaxed enough to execute that exercise? So pay attention to those details, because they're very important. Let's say you're working on an exercise and you're using your metronome, which is a good way to measure your progress too, and you're practicing this exercise at, let's say, 120 BPM, and out of 10 times you play it, you make a mistake on 7. Well, you're really practicing making mistakes in that case. It's not going to help you. So maybe it's time to slow down a little bit, play it clean, and then after you play it clean a while, then start pushing yourself. Never stay too slow, because that's not going to help either. But you can't practice too fast, because then you end up practicing making mistakes, which is not good. Now I want to show you my favorite speed exercise for different techniques. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you click like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I got a playlist full of free lessons. I also have a Patreon, a bunch of other links for you in the description. You can also book an online lesson with me through my website, and that's it. Let's get to it. When it comes to alternate picking, to me there are two different variations. You're either playing like pairs of notes, for example 2 notes per string, 4 notes per string, or 6, in which case every time you change strings is always a downstroke. For example, if I'm doing 2 notes per string, like I'm doing down up on the E string, and then I start the next string, in this case the B string, down again. So it's always that case down up, even if it's 4. Down up, moves to the next string, and it's down again. Now when you're playing odd numbers, 3 notes per string for example, then all of a sudden one string is going to be down up down, and then the next string starts with an upstroke, and that can be difficult at first, you know. So there are these two variations. So I'm going to show you my favorite exercises for each of those. Here's the first one. We're going to play 8th fret, 5th fret twice on the high E string, and then 8th fret, 5th fret on the B string once. And that's it. That's the whole exercise. Keep it simple. As you get comfortable, you can move up on the fretboard using the A minor pentatonic scale, you know, and do. That's the pattern that Zakk Wylde uses on the No More Tears solo, you know, that Aussie song, and I really like it. You can do it on different strings. You can do it on the G and D strings. Let's do a 3-note per string pattern now. So very simple. We're gonna use the low E string here, 3rd, 4th, 5th fret, and then same thing on the A string. So now it's down, up, down, up, down, up. So when you change the string, it's always different. First string starts with a downstroke, the next string starts with an upstroke. So just start slow and keep building your speed. Once you get good at these two exercises, you can pretty much play anything with alternate picking, because it's either going to be one variation or the other, you know. So in this case I'm doing this chromatic thing here, but if I'm playing the scale, it doesn't change anything for my right hand. And those are my favorite exercises for alternate picking. Let's talk about legato now. My favorite exercise contains hammer-ons and pull-offs. Let's do this using the G major scale. So we're going to start on the 8th fret of the high E string, pull off to the 5th fret, hammer on to the 7th fret, hammer on to the 8th fret, pull off to the 7th fret, pull off to the 5th fret. So 6 notes. That's the whole pattern. And then what I want you to try to do is, as you repeat that pattern on the same string or other strings, try not to pick any other note. So you just pick the very first one, and then you repeat without picking. So I'm just muting here so the notes don't ring with the distortion stuff, but not picking. And then you can move to the other strings. Make sure you hear every note clean and keep your timing in check. You know, make sure it's not like, know, make sure it's all the notes ring for the exact same amount of time. So now here's my favorite hybrid picking exercise. Let's do this using the E minor pentatonic, last 2 strings here. So we're gonna hammer on from the 3rd fret of the B string to the 5th fret. Then we're gonna play the E string open with our middle finger. So now we're gonna go back to the 5th fret on the B string with the pick and play a pull off from the 3rd fret to the E string open with our middle finger. Now 2 notes left on this pattern. We're gonna play the 5th fret on the B string with the pick and the E string open with our middle finger, and that's the whole thing. So and just practice slow, and then once you're comfortable, speed up a little bit. And then with this pattern, you can also like transfer it to different scales and do stuff like, you know, you can move up on the fret with the same pentatonic. Or you can apply it to a different scale, say G major scale. So you can do many different things. You can start on a different string, move down, you know. So it's a very cool exercise. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, make sure you click like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time.